Welcome to Educ1050. Let me describe to you briefly our design principles. We have four. The first is that we will adhere to the flipped classroom model. For the entire semester, we will only have 4 face-to-face lectures plus 1 conference, and the rest will be webinars and tutorials. The second principle speaks about our tutorial approach. We will follow a modified lesson study approach, which I will explain later. We will also embrace the principles of the communities of practice. 3 of our 4 assessments are group-based. The fourth principle focuses on core competencies, which are curation, collaboration, creation, and critically reflecting. Let's take a look at how we conduct our tutorials. The first of 3 tutorials we call Sandpit. In this first of 3 tutorials, students in groups brainstorm and plan their group presentations that are due in tutorial number 3. In the second of this 3 tutorial block, which we call Synergy, what will happen is that the groups will present a mock or dry run of their presentation, eliciting feedback from their peers and from the tutor. The final tutorial, or the third of 3 tutorials, is what we refer to as a showcase. Here, groups incorporate feedback and show their final presentation to be marked by the tutors. This constitutes the first block, the first core competency of curation. In this first block, we highly recommend that everyone uses Pinterest as the platform. We move on to the second block, the second core competency, which is collaboration. When we move to the second block, we will still follow the 3-tiered model of Sandpit, Synergy, and Showcase tutorials. But for the second block of collaboration, we highly recommend that you use Prezi as your platform, the platform that you will use in preparing your group assessment task. We now move on to the third block, which is the Create block. Once again, we follow the 3-tiered tutorial model of Sandpit, planning, Synergy, a mock presentation, and Showcase, the finished product. This is our Create block. For this third block, we again strongly encourage everyone to use Powtoon as the platform. Let's now take a look at the assessment tasks. For the first block, which is the Curate block, the assessment asks you in groups to curate an online resource for Year 7 classrooms focusing on the Queensland Curriculum and Assessment Authority. That will be 20% of your final mark. For the second group task, which is in the Collaborate block, we will ask you to collaborate on a Prezi presentation describing 2 skills typical of Year 8 students demonstrating familiarity with ICT. Again, that's 20%. For the third block, the Create block, the group assessment task requires you to create a Powtoon presentation describing 2 skills that Year 10 students should manifest in demonstrating familiarity with ICT. That will again be 20%. If you notice, what we have done is that the core competencies of the course are directly related with what you do in your tutorials and your assessment tasks. The Curate block will start with the lecture plus tutorials 1, 2, and 3. This will be followed by the Collaboration block, which again begins with a lecture, face-to-face lecture, to be followed by tutorials 4, 5, and 6. We will have a break for tutorials 7 and 8 because of Easter and the mid-semester break. And then that brings us to the third block, which is the Create block. It starts with a lecture, that's lecture 3, and tutorials 9, 10, and 11. This will now bring us to the final block, in which we do critical reflection. We will have a conference in which we highlight positives of the experience and we do a rapid evaluation of reflection. In your last tutorial session, you will be playing a modified dating game in which you rapidly share with each other your ideas in relation to the final assessment. How do I incorporate ICT in my classroom? You get responses from your colleagues, and the responses hopefully will inform you as you prepare your final assessment task, which consists of 40% of your final mark. That is our EDUC 1050 course.